So as an addendum, we have that loyal listener that wrote in a couple of times before, Leland Payne down there in Texas. He actually wrote in about this. He says, Sean, today we learned that Berkshire Hathaway acquired millions of KMI shares and the stock price closed up 11%, although the jump in oil probably helped too. He had a couple of questions. First up was, did Buffett get a special look at the books? What do you think about that, Taylor?
I don't know what other, maybe just a more microscopic look, but everyone gets access to balance sheet,
reads
cash
annual
flow
reports.
statement.
He doesn't do anything special.
Yeah, if he does, he keeps that to himself.
Right.
But I wouldn't imagine that with a company like Kinder Morgan, whatever.
I have to imagine that he's hung out with Richard Kinder or something, though.
So if they didn't disclose as much as they do disclose,
right.
If there was a company, a small cap, that only released the bare bones of their financial statements, maybe he gets in there and chats with the CFO. But I think there's everything to know about Kinder Morgan is out there. It's just whether or not you can understand it or not.
Right.
So when we were down in Houston, actually, and I got to sit down with Clay Williams over at National Oil Well Varco, he was actually talking about the process of Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway buying a company with us.
Really?
What some of the things that they did as a looking as an investment.
Did they sell him pipelines, or what did they do?
No, it was just an
in
equipment
general,
because Berkshire did have a stake in National Oil Well Varco a while ago, and he said it was really surprising because typically when an analyst or researcher coming in, they're asking a whole bunch of these microscopic sort of questions on margin compression or expansion and very short-term things. And when Berkshire came in, there wasn't that huge focus on looking at the books. It was questions like, who are your big customers? Who are your big suppliers? What kind of relationship do you have with them? And then they would go from there and actually go speak with the customers and the suppliers. The idea was not just looking at the company itself, but then looking at all of the people that
he was assessing how durable their business is.
So I've got to imagine that when he was taking that special look, it wasn't necessarily at the books itself, but probably more likely looking at the space, some of the major suppliers and customers that Kinder Morgan serves, and trying to get a gauge of how they may have some pricing strength, contract strength, thing like that, rather than are you able to expand your margin 0.5% next quarter?
Right.